Now live from somewhere in beautiful Milwaukee, it's time to speak with Ryan J.
You know, you make this town sound almost cool by the way you pronounce it.
Is it not like one of the coolest towns? Isn't that where Laverne and Shirley are from?
Yes, it is.
Well,
yeah,
it's a cool town.
A lot of beer and a lot of cheese. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Charlotte's become that city too. A lot of beer. I mean, the beer down here. I mean, it's starting to get like global attention and stuff like that. And it's like, oh my God, what about those places like Tumwater, Washington, and stuff like that had all those beers back in the 70s.
I suppose if you like beer and cheese, it's a fun place to be.
Yeah, I don't like any of those. So I mean, I like cheese, but I beer to me it all tastes the same, and I'm sure I'm going to get emails and things like that forever and a day now but it all just tastes the same. It's like wine. It all tastes the same.
I never developed a flavor for it.
Neither have I.
But let's talk about Doctor Strange.
How about that movie, huh?
Did you see it?
Of course I did.
Yes. What a multiverse, huh?
Well, a multiverse and multi-stories.
I mean, I love that Sam Rami directed this. You know, after doing the first 3 Spider-Man movies, of course, he also did Oz the Great and Powerful. So he knows his way around a big blockbuster effects movie. And I love seeing his signature style here. The duels, the levitating duels in the air in big action sequences, huge blockbuster action scenes with lots of effects. You've got the angle camera movements. You have the dramatic zoom push-ins to faces at great times. And that is just so classic Sam Raimi. It worked really well here because I love Benedict Cumberbatch and Rachel McAdams.
Oh, my God, yeah.
You know, everything just turning out really, really well. I also love all the magic here. You know, it's Doctor Strange is a sorcerer, and they turn the villain. You have to have watched the Disney Plus series WandaVision to appreciate this one.
You're right.
And if you have, because that's really the prequel to this movie, because Wanda becomes Scarlet Witch, the villain in this one, and she's a witch with all the magic, and he's the sorcerer with all the magic. So it's the most magical of all the movies from Marvel, and I loved every second of that. I thought it was really cool. It felt like a very different vibe, but yet very true to the tone with humor and snark and winks and nods and some blinking. There's some great cameos, other things. They finally brought in some other Sony Marvel-owned characters that hadn't been in the MCU before. So it's just been... I couldn't have liked it more. I loved it.
You know, I had these many times during the movie when I would see them flying in the air. I remember when, when Superman came out and Mr. Reeves was flying, and people were just so fascinated that it really looked like that he was flying. And now you look at today and you go, oh, the people need to understand the process of how flight took place in Hollywood movies.
Yes, because even if you look at the cape, the digital cape, there's so much digital effect here. And I saw it in 3D, Arrow. This is the first movie I saw in 3D probably since like 2016.
Oh, wow.
And it was so good. Like, I mean, it's been so long, but again, Sam Raimi does that. He did 3D Oz the Great and Powerful exquisitely. And when he's working with digital and creating in 3D as opposed to 3D conversion, it was so dynamic, so much depth, so cool. I recommend seeing it in 3D. That flying cape, which has a personality of its own, much like the flying carpet in Aladdin, you know?
Yep.
Really, really fun. And I also thought it was a fun theme. I mean, it's not a universal theme, but can you imagine in their universe, imagining that every time you dream, it's actually someone's reality in a parallel universe. Like, that's terrifying.
Yep. And boy, they set that up right at the very beginning. I mean, right at the very beginning about dreams and stuff like that.
Totally. That means like right now, our living lives, someone else is dreaming, and it's like their nightmare, but it's like our life.
Oh my God! You know, I'll tell you one of my favorite scenes. And you might think I'm wacky, but it was when he was replacing the lens of the watch at the very end, where you looked from
love that.
Right from you saw him from the watch.
Yes. Yeah, it's brilliant.
And it just gave you a completely different view of this guy, and it totally sets up the end of the movie anyway. But it was just such a brilliant way to start bringing things together.
Yeah.
What other
brilliant ending? Yeah.
What other film did you see?
It's not a film. It's a TV series that debuted yesterday on HBO Max. It is called The Staircase.
Oh, yeah.
And it is based on the Netflix series of the same name. But this one is the dramatization of it. And it is a true crime story starring Colin Firth as Michael Peterson.
Really?
And Toni Collette as his wife, Kathleen Peterson. I am so obsessed with this show. I mean, they let the first 5 episodes screen for critics, but it has been so riveting and so interesting and so crazy, and I can't say enough good things about it. So definitely check out The Staircase.
What is it about these crime series that really, I mean, even with podcasting, if you've got a crime series, you've got a big hit on your hands. Is it because we feel like we're part of the story as a detective?
It's partly that, because we like to debate. We feel so validated if we guess correctly who it was that won, and then otherwise we feel like it's something that if it's something that we haven't won or something. Wait, why am I going the wrong way? I apologize. I'm driving to the Milwaukee Rep because I'm on location today, and I have to find this location anyway. So that's what you're gonna get. Okay. Meanwhile, I think that they're based off of where we are, where everybody's so invested in the division of arguing and having side versus side and everything. These shows do that too. Yeah. You get to have an opinion about what you think really happened and what's real and what isn't, and who's right and who's wrong and who's guilty and who's not. And so it's that discussion that really engages everybody.
Yeah, because I mean, top journalists from these major networks are leaving their positions of journalism to do these things. Yeah. And they're finding victory in it.
Right. It's so true. It's so true. It's so great. So seriously, I have to run, but listen, I love The Staircase. I can't recommend it enough. So enjoy that, and hopefully we'll catch up more next week.
All right, buddy. You be safe on that highway, all right?
Thanks so much. You too.